Whoever makes money, they go after that in Bollywood. It's a very expensive art form because it's so much money involved. The money will talk. The money will. So if the star gets the money, or even a music gets the money, then those people will be talked about, and story writers are ignored. But the day audience starts seeing.
Yeah, I think story will always, yes, you will have one or two movies where the story is not so important, the star is important. But by and large, I think 80% of films will do well if they have a good story.
Correct.
And they will do badly if they have a bad story.
Yes.
I think story is...
is also important,
king.
and the star is also important.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say the star is not important, but the story and star both have to be good there. So I think that is coming in now. I find it like a lot of people are asking me to do more and looking for books. A lot of people are picking up much more book for rights. You'll find a lot of directors in this festival trying to see what's out there. So it's happening, and this was my dream that books was an industry ignored, and it could use some more limelight. And Bollywood never had good content, it could use some content.
Yes.
And the fusion of literature and films is amazing because it helps both.
Chetan, just an extension of what you said. Increasingly, independent cinema is being accepted by audiences, urban and semi-urban. You think that means it's a trigger for writers like you to come with new scripts and stories?
Correct. I mean, Kai Puche was a newcomer film, just brand new. And it was not a rom-com or anything. It was a riots and a very difficult, hard-hitting kind of film. And it did a business of 55 crores net at the box office. That is an incredible number, right? I mean, I thank UTV and Abhishek for that. But that really gives a lot of leeway. That means a lot of, if the right movie with newcomers and good content is made, that is somewhere it can go. In fact, Ashiki 2 went to even crossed 100, and there was almost newcomers. So many movies, Ranjana did really, really well last year. So that is giving the content a boost. And content comes from where? It comes from writers and directors. So it is giving the crew a boost a little bit. And it's becoming a little more balanced. It is not heavily tilted towards the stars.
I think this lady has been asking for a long time. Yeah, she's got the mic.
Good morning. My name is Jayashree Gopalakrishnan. The question is directed...
Keep the mic close.
The question is directed to both of you. You talked about Munna Bhai 1, 2, 3. But why I don't see Slumdog Millionaire 1, 2, 3 or Q&A 1, 2, 3? Your books are very different for both of you.
Yeah.
It's gone from one to a totally different setting. I don't see anything about an MBA studies or about your banker thing. It hasn't gone autobiographical. Where are you getting these ideas from? It's different. And he said he likes Desmond Bagley, Agatha Christie. But then there isn't a genre for him either. It's Six Suspects, then now The Accidental Apprentice. So it's like you are not, you're having different ideas.
Actually, I answered this question in a session yesterday also that, when your first book becomes huge, then the people want a repetition of that one. My publishers dropped those hints. They said, why don't we do another book? And we'll call it another Q&A or something like that with the same characters. My characters were Ram Muhammad Thomas and Salim. These were the two characters. And I thought about it and I rejected it. I said, first of all, I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want the world to feel that I have only one story to tell. And that's the story of Ram Muhammad Thomas. I wanted to sort of test my own boundaries as a writer. And at that time, I was thinking of 6 different stories. So I did a book called Six Suspects. And my most recent novel is, again, nothing to do with Q&A or Six Suspects. It's called The Accidental Apprentice, which Sriram Raghavan, who's here with us today, is going to direct as a Bollywood film, and something that I'm very, very proud of. So for me, the challenge as a writer is to keep doing different things. Yes, when I need money and I don't have any other ideas, maybe I'll go to Q&A part 2. But for the moment, I don't want to become a Spider-Man or Superman franchise. I don't know, Chetan?
Yes, same. I think, actually most popular writers develop series, whether it's a Harry Potter, whether it's a Agatha Christie. I mean, they have that one character detective series, and that is very lucrative from a financial point of view. And sometimes I kick myself because every time I start a new book, I have to think new characters, think this, and it's very difficult. But creatively, it's far more satisfying. I feel I've told the story, it's closed. Milking it is something wrong about it. I'm not the traditional literary guy in some ways. I allow a lot more commercial sensibility into my work. But I think everybody has their own boundaries. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this, write sequels or write a thing, because it's not going to be, and I won't be excited. I can barely write a screenplay for my books. sometimes they say you adapted. I do it. I did for Kai Pache, but I'm like, I could have written another story in this, yeah, because it's like the same people over and over again. I feel like killing them.
No,
Actually, the second book I write on the same character. I'm
you
like so
feel
bored of them.
imprisoned by the characters.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah,
committed suicide
exactly.
next day. Story finished.
One last point. This is more on the lighter side. You mentioned your bad boss several times, Chetan. So, has he ever got back to you on this? Because
Has
he
your
knows.
bad
who
boss
he is.
gotten back to you?
I mean, there must have been some feedback from somewhere.
So he was in I was in Hong Kong when I was Goldman Sachs. He was there, and he moved to the U.S., New York, and we kind of lost touch. I then changed jobs and moved, and then I left, and he kind of had heard I'd become a writer and all. But once in 2010, the Time magazine did the 100 most
I know, and
influential
you were,
people.
yes, exactly. One
So
of the 100
he
most
was flipping it in his office.
And he said, who the hell
And
is this guy?
in all my performance reviews, he used to say lack of leadership skills, lack of doing anything. So he opened it, and then other people in office told me he just saw it and he was asking about it. Is it the same guy? Is it the same guy that yeah. So then,
But
oh yeah, like
didn't send you an
redemption.
email or anything.
Well, no, I mean, no. But I am very thankful to him. I mean, if he wasn't
Yes,
there,
exactly. You would not have had the urge
I'd
to.
still be, if they had given me a 10% raise, I'd still be happy. And
Yeah,
I am genuinely thankful to him. And sweet revenge, of course, but it's more than that. I'm glad sometimes, these things happen to you. When something terrible happens in life, you feel, oh my God, why has this happened to me? But it gets you in touch with yourself like nothing else. And so therefore, bad times, of course, nobody wants bad times, but there are some positives from bad times. Yeah.
Oh my God, oh my
I'll
goodness.
do a couple. Keep your questions short, so that, and one per person, please. Yeah.
Idhar se nahi, idhar se bole. This guy,
Which guy?
this guy.
Because he's choosing, okay?
Yes.
We'll do one boy, one girl.
Yeah,
How
okay,
about that?
okay.
I'll do the girls.
Two
the
states.
boys.
I have noticed one recurrent theme in your novels, Chetan. While the hero is slightly restrained, his friend is more on the manly side, like Ishan was rowdy, Broom was reckless, and that Ryan was a bodybuilder. So, do you think there is a trade-off between being mentally strong and being physically strong? And has it come out of your own experiences as a student?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've always been a little underconfident, and I've always had looked up to a certain friend who I feel is ideal, and ये है ऐसे होना चाहिए, and somehow it has reflected, especially in my initial stories. Now less so. In the more recent books, you'll find that less. But there is the main character is often a little weak in some ways, but strong in other ways. Strong that he'll never give up, but weak in many ways. And maybe that is one of the reason it connects, that the character of the book, the hero is very unconventional, a little weak, but discovers that he's strong later on. How much time you have?
We have
Okay.
5, 6. One we have to take from this
This
side
girl-
now. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Here.
Okay,
okay.
we'll do that and then come.
Hi, my name is Anjali Kirpalani, and I've actually published my first novel this year called Never Say Never. So it's a bit of self-promotion happening here. But my question to you is actually how important is marketing? Because people say writing a book is not enough. The real work starts with marketing. And I've read that you were one of the first authors who actually had a marketing plan when you approached publishers. So, what form of marketing has really helped you the most? Is it word of mouth or is it something else? And just secondly, do you think your books would be as popular if they weren't made into films? So do you think, since India is all about Bollywood, that's the only way for an author to really make a mark?
Okay. See, in the beginning, marketing is important. I don't need it now. But at the same time, word of mouth is what books sell on. At the end of the day, you can do as much marketing as you want, but it's the word of mouth. And word of mouth is not something you can control beyond the point that write a really good book, So, but little bit of marketing helps. What marketing plan? It's really changed from my times. 10 years back to now, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no, even internet was like very slow internet at that time. There were barely websites. So it's different now, and I think but whatever you can do. All channels, it's not like should I do this or this, do this and this. But it is about the book. I know people think that it's a marketing thing, but there is no Chetan Bhagat ad, So at the end of the day, it is about book, but whatever ways you can get to get noticed, because there's a lot of content out there. So yeah, I think that's the thing. What was the second thing? Bollywood helped. It did, and it didn't as much as people think. The books were very popular even before, but I think it helped. It helped popularize me. I mean, more people got to know about me through Bollywood, but the books sales, people thought, oh my God, 3 Idiots would have led to big jump in sales. So 5 Point Someone had sold 1 million, and because of 3 Idiots, it sold 30,000 more. So 30,000 is a lot of books, but it's okay, it's fine. Because people have already read it, and piracy, and PDFs online, so it doesn't work, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have time for just one more question and the session has to end.
Really?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, next session has to.
Okay, fair enough.
This lady has been asking for a long.
Okay, this lady.
This lady in the front.
Sorry, guys.
Hi. First of all, thank you for wonderful books. I have a very quick question. A lot of us are really struggling, so we're writers, but we really struggle to get our books out because we face tons and tons of rejections, and our inboxes are just full of nahi karna hai, nahi karna hai, nahi karna hai. Now, is there anything that established writers like yourselves can do for struggling writers?
Okay.
Or how do you suggest we go about this entire publishing business? Because a lot of times I'm speaking on behalf of a friend who's not here right now, and I know she's really going through hell. And I'm sure there are tons of people like her who are not able to get their books out even though they're absolutely brilliant. So how do we reach out to them? How can we help them?
Well, now you see, the great thing of living in the 21st century and being a writer in the 21st century is you have actually cut out the middleman. So the problem is there are no filters now because you can self-publish. You can upload your thing on the, you can do a blog about it. You can sort of release maybe 35% of the book and then say, if you like it, buy it or something like that or whatever. There are various platforms now available to you to sort of get your work known. Because 15 years ago, if a publisher had rejected you, you had basically, and you had enough money to self-publish. Apart from that, there was nothing else. Now you have these digital platforms available to you. I mean, Amanda Hawking is a prime example. She self-published and then got a $2 million contract. So many writers have now been discovered through self-publishing. And self-publishing itself, the prices have come down substantially because now it's publishing on demand. Self-publishing does not mean that you print 5,000 copies and you have 50 friends who buy it and then, 4,500 copies are pulped. Self-publishing now means they will print a copy only when there is a demand for it. So 5 people ask for it, they print 5 copies. 20 people ask for it, they print 20 copies. Amazon now has a deal where your book will be available in electronic form and 70% royalties you will get, 30% Amazon will keep. So as I said, these platforms are now available. The important thing is, publishing is one thing. In response to the previous question, as somebody said, any fool can write a book. It takes a genius to sell one. The important thing is how do you get your book out there for people to know it, recognize it. And yes, word of mouth is important, but the first thing is how to create an awareness about that book. Yeah. Chetan, you want to add something?
No, I mean, I agree with all that he says, but also, you have to be a little strong. You have to realize the reality. There's only space so much, and entry barriers have become less. The opportunities have become more. And don't just think of writer as writing books. Writer can write articles, writer can write TV serials, writer can write movie scripts, writer can write short stories, writer can write... And different industries have different dynamics, journalism. So, but a writer must find a way that they get an expression somewhere so that she doesn't feel so terrible, There are days when I'm not getting good writing done on the book, but if I get a good column done, at least I don't feel so bad. Because, and I never have discriminated that, oh my God, I am an author, how can I do a screenplay of Kick? And, it's because it's just, it's different mediums with the pen. And I think that is important that they don't, because it is going to be disappointing. It is going to be, you have to be strong and you have to find alternatives till it finally works out. It's not a typical career that, So, but I understand, and I think we can build platforms. I mean, a lot of publishers...
No, platforms are she can publish.
No, but as established writers and, many times I have done...
Maybe a Chetan Bhagat imprint.
I don't think I don't have to be a publisher, but at the same time, just getting more people into the bookstores or making a lot of money for my publisher so he can issue 20 more writers, there is a contribution, some contribution there, but maybe a little more. Just, I think these LitFests can have it's a good suggestion that maybe there is a stream for new budding writers and guidance and, more formal, maybe. I think people here are noting it down. So
I think she wants
okay, now she's saying, get out. Say
No, I'm not saying that. Well, thank you so much, Chetan and Vikas, for such a wonderful, fun and engaging session. This is to let you know that both Chetan and Vikas will be available outside the Aditya Birla Hall for book signings. Thank you. We would also like to thank our presenting sponsor, the Lodha Group, studio partners Aditya Birla Group and Yes Bank, telecom partner Vodafone, bookstore partner Crossword, partner for Beautiful Hair Dove, kids session partner HDFC Home Loans, partner in excellence Brookborn Taj Mahal, sound partner Bose, hospitality partner Trident, our partner